There is a reason sapphire is called the gemstone of legends. It has been the symbol of truth, protection, loyalty, divine favor, and royal power for thousands of years. But beyond symbolism lies something deeper. Stories. Stories of queens, emperors, heiresses, aristocrats, and forgotten worlds. Stories set in platinum and gold. Stories glowing in deep celestial blue. And to understand the legacy of sapphire jewelry, we begin not in a palace, but in a museum. Our journey begins inside the Smithsonian's famous National Gem Collection, under the soft museum lights that illuminate one of the finest sapphire jewels ever created. The Hall Sapphire Necklace is a masterpiece of harmony. 36 perfectly matched Sri Lankan sapphires totaling nearly 200 carats, all cushion cut, all glowing with a velvety cornflower hue. Surrounding them, more than 400 diamonds, united in a platinum setting crafted by Harry Winston. But why is it called the Hall Necklace? Donated by Mrs. Evelyn Annenberg Hall, the necklace was named after its possessor, the woman who was a great patron of the arts and medicine. What makes this necklace extraordinary isn't just its size, but its impossible uniformity. Sapphires of identical color and clarity are so rare that jewelers often call them siblings separated at birth. Yet here they sit, side by side, a shimmering blue river suspended in metal. But the Smithsonian holds not one, but several blue masterpieces, and the next one carried the glamour of a fashion icon. Let's look at the Bismarck Sapphire necklace. At its center shines a 98.56-carat Burmese sapphire, a gem of oceanic depth and near-flawless clarity. Created by Cartier in 1935, this necklace once belonged to Countess Mona von Bismarck, a woman famously crowned best-dressed woman in the world. Bismarck wore the sapphire the way others wear perfume, effortlessly. She received it as present from her hubby, American tycoon Harrison Williams, during their honeymoon. Cartier framed the stone with diamond scrolls and an elegant ribbon motif, crafting a jewel that feels at once regal and modern. An Art Deco fantasy. When Countess Bismarck donated it to the Smithsonian, she transformed a private treasure into a public legend. But not all sapphires gleam under diamonds. Some glow from within, literally. In this way, we describe our next blue gem. In a quiet display rests a sapphire unlike any other, the 287-carat Star of Artaban. Smooth, luminous, hypnotic. This cabochon gem displays a perfect four-ray star, dancing across its surface as the light shifts. Its name comes from the tale, The Other Wise Man, about a traveler who never reached Bethlehem but carried a sapphire meant as a gift for the Christ child. This star sapphire feels like something out of that story, mystical, serene, almost alive. Within the same hall, you may witness the gem of great size. The Logan Sapphire is one of the largest cut sapphires in human history and among the most visually perfect. Its color? A deep royal blue that seems to glow from within. Its donor, Mrs. Rebecca Pollard Logan, wore the stone in a brooch so heavy it needed structural support sewn into her gown. The Logan Sapphire in a brooch setting is surrounded by 20 round diamonds about the size of an egg. Yet in 1960, Mrs. Logan donated the gem to the institution to let everyone witness this beauty. Today, it draws millions of viewers at the Smithsonian, a gem that looks almost inhuman in scale. From museum halls, we now step into royal courts, into stories of power, inheritance, and love written in deep sapphire blue. Prince Albert is known not only for becoming Queen Victoria's husband, but for his multiple jewelry gifts he would commission every year. They were a perfect couple whose love tale whispers through the centuries. Among the gifts, the Prince Albert brooch is worth our attention, the love token that became a royal icon. In 1840, Prince Albert presented Victoria with a sapphire and diamond brooch the night before their wedding, a symbol of love, loyalty, and devotion. Victoria loved it so profoundly that she wore it at her wedding and her coronation. The brooch features a single large oval Burmese sapphire, intensely blue and remarkably clear, framed by 12 brilliant diamonds. After Victoria's passing, she willed the brooch to remain an heirloom of the crown, meaning it can only be worn by a reigning queen or consort. All the next queens would be pictured wearing the brooch, from Alexandra to Queen Mother. But when it came to Queen Elizabeth II, she adored it just as much as Victoria. She wore it often, at jubilees, state occasions, and historic meetings with world leaders. But it's not a single sapphire considered heirloom of the crown. Once part of royal drama, escape, and exile, the 104-carat Stuart Sapphire sits today at the back of the imperial state crown. Its history reads like a novel. The gem first belonged to the exiled King Charles II, then carried by James II during his escape to France in 1688, then passed through the Stuart dynasty in exile, returned to the British royal family through diplomacy and inheritance, and finally set into Queen Victoria's crown. The gem's cut is old-fashioned, a deep oval with a flat face and steep pavilion, typical of 17th century gem cutting. Though overshadowed by the Cullinan diamonds at the front of the crown, the Stuart Sapphire symbolizes centuries of survival, restoration, and royal continuity. And indeed, its rich, slightly bluish-violet hue speaks of centuries of tempestuous history, one of the most traveled sapphires in the world. With some more sapphires in British royal hands, we want to look at more fascinating jewel which sparked worldwide discussions. Princess Diana's sapphire choker. Who owns this jewel now? Prince William or Prince Harry? Will we see it again? Well, first, let's look back at its history. The sapphire at its center, a deep, velvety Ceylon stone framed in diamonds, was originally a brooch gifted by the Queen Mother to Diana as a wedding gift. Rather than wearing it traditionally, Diana did something only she could do. She transformed it. With the help of jewelers, she redesigned the brooch into a choker centerpiece, surrounding it with rows of luminous pearls. The result was bold, youthful, and dramatically glamorous. Quintessential Diana. She wore it at some of her most unforgettable public moments, including the 1985 White House dinner where she famously danced with John Travolta. She then paired it with the well-known revenge dress in June 1994. One of Diana's most exquisite gems was undoubtedly this sapphire choker, which unfortunately she couldn't wear again. Her tragic car accident changed it all. Yet no one knows exactly who inherited the choker and whether we can see it in the near future. Leaving the jewelry vault of Great Britain, let's have a look at Queen Marie of Romania pendant that garnered large attention during the last big exhibition of Cartier's jewels at Victoria and Albert Museum, which by that time gathered all famous jewels designed by the company. This cushion-shaped sapphire weighing 478.68 carats is held by diamond floral motifs at 3 points, with a diamond frame on the reverse side and a suspension hoop to make it a part of a sautoir. The first reference to this gem goes back to 1913, when Cartier added it to a collection of 7 other sapphires to form a magnificent sautoir. Then it went on the display of a famous exhibition in Spain, where it was admired by royals, including the then Queen Ina. 2 years after the exhibition, the sapphire pendant on the diamond necklace was purchased by King Ferdinand of Romania for his wife, Queen Marie. She often wore her sautoir, complementing the extraordinary sapphire tiara or the pearl tiara in the Byzantine style. While the 478-carat sapphire pendant is currently owned by the Museum of Qatar, its history after Queen Marie's death was connected with Greek royalty. The jewel was first acquired by Harry Winston and then sold to a Greek collector, who then gave it to Queen Frederica of Greece. Saying goodbye to the royal treasure casket, we invite you to see an amazing piece of jewelry designed in 2018 using a sapphire unearthed a century ago. The Siren of Serendip sapphire necklace is currently on permanent display in the Cullen Hall of Gems and Minerals at the Houston Museum of Natural Science. But where did they get such an amazing piece of craftsmanship? The Siren of Serendip is a 422.66 carat blue sapphire, one of the world's largest, discovered in Sri Lanka, formerly Ceylon. The original rough crystal weighed 2,670 carats when it was unearthed. The name Serendip is the ancient Persian name for Sri Lanka, and Siren refers to the gem's mythical, mesmerizing beauty, much like the mythical sirens. It is the centerpiece of a necklace created by master jeweler Ingo Hen, who got the special order from the Houston Museum to fill in their new exhibition hall. Though modern, it feels timeless, a gemstone that could have adorned a queen of antiquity or a future empress. Now we have reached our last gem, the Rockefeller Sapphire, thought to be the stone of perfection, a 62.02 carat internally flawless cornflower blue sapphire. John D. Rockefeller acquired this sapphire for his wife Abby Aldrich Rockefeller in the 1930s. Cut into a stunning rectangular step cut, it became one of the world's most perfect stones. Its clarity is supernatural, like a window into midnight. This sapphire has an incredible history and has been owned by some of the most significant figures in jewelry history, including Pierre Cartier, Raymond Yard, Raphael, and Ralphus Marion. In 2001, it broke sapphire auction records with $3 million. Collectors say this stone is the definition of perfection, and yet it vanished into a private vault, never seen again. But what made us awe is that just a few weeks ago, Christie's Geneva made announcement of a new gem coming to the block. One more fascinating Rockefeller sapphire mounted into the ring setting. Indeed, there must be more and more family jewels resurfacing from the private hands under the Geneva's auction light. As we are reaching the end, we want to know which sapphire jewel you like most of all. The Hall Sapphire and Diamond Necklace, Bismarck Sapphire, and Star of Artaban that preserve scientific wonder and historical grandeur. The Siren of Serendip, Queen Marie's Cartier pendant, and Princess Diana's iconic choker capture the emotional power of jewels reborn and retold. While the Stuart Sapphire and Prince Albert brooch remind us that blue stones often carry the deepest stories of love, exile, and legacy. And have you ever visited jewelry exhibitions just like inside the Smithsonian Museum? If you could see one of these legendary jewels in person, which would you choose? And why? Should we explore emerald legends next, ruby dynasties, or the world's most mysterious missing jewels? Tell us in the comments. Your answer might guide the next episode of Jewelry Legends. See you on our next episode.